It's September 1987. You mindlessly pluck away at that new song you've been hearing on the radio called Mr. Brownstone. Your mom says she's going to the store, and you beg her to please pick up the newest edition of Guitar World while she's out. She agrees, but when she returns, she doesn't have Guitar World. She has something else. She has Guitar Player, Speed, how to get it, and how to use it. Or if you're me, your friend grew up in the 80s and he lent you a copy. So, today we're going to take a look at some of these old guitar magazines. Well, technically, we're just going to look at this one today, but I am going to talk about some of the other ones I got. I've kind of been obsessed lately with old guitar magazines from like the 80s and 90s, just because, I don't know, it's kind of cool to look back on and see what people were playing and stuff like that. So what really kicked it off was I went flea marketing and I found this old 1993 issue of Guitar World featuring Vernon Reid from Living Colour on it, and it has the song Leave It Alone in it. I did a TikTok on it where I showed some of the tabs and played the song. But anyways, yeah, I've kind of been obsessed now, and so a friend of mine that I work with, he grew up in the 80s and 90s, and he has totes full of these magazines. So he let me borrow a couple, and I wanted to look at this one because it really caught my eye. I was thinking about like, okay, 15, 16-year-old me would have saw this and be like, oh, hell yeah, because it says literally Guitar Player, Speed, how to get it and how to use it. That would have grabbed my attention immediately. But after I was looking at it further, there was just some cool stuff that I noticed. Stuff, you know, like Frank Gambale teaching how to sweep pick. Like, come on, the dude's amazing player. One of the dudes who like really made sweep picking what it is, in my opinion. And you know, it's got some lessons on it. So let's take a look at it and see what there is. First off, I absolutely love this hammer guitar. I mean, it just screams 80s, but dude, this makes me want to go find one right now on Reverb. My first thought when I saw this picture was actually nothing about the obviously 80s look, but all those amps, man, like I could not imagine loading into a venue with that now. Who knows, he may not have, but I would not. Have we gotten lazy with all of our modelers and 2x12 cabs? I don't know. That just looked, when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I would not want to load in with that. Here is the main article in question that really, you know, struck my interest. It's a whole article that Frank Gambale did on sweep picking, so we're going to take a look at some of his ideas in here. Alright guys, so I have my most 80s looking guitar, and anyways, I just wanted to show you some things in this magazine, some of the articles that really caught my eye. Some of them are just for fun, but you know, there's a lot of good information in this magazine as well. Basically, what I wanted to dissect today is really like, you know, even though these magazines that are old, I see them all day long at flea markets and stuff, and you know, they're honestly worth picking up because not only is it a good form of entertainment if you're someone young like me that didn't grow up with these magazines in my childhood, you know what I mean? These are before me. So it's cool to just look at and see like, oh, these are what they were looking at in, you know, 1987. But also, there's a lot of good information in them for lessons, you know? Like this one has Frank Gambale in it, who is just a master player. He's unreal. And he's got some shapes in it that I just never thought of. And I can, like, basically all of what he did in the magazine is on sweep picking. And, you know, I do a lot of sweep picking. But, you know, Frank is a crazy good player that, you know, his shapes and things make me look like a baby, you know? The shapes that I tend to use are these 3-note per string, or 3-string shapes. And I like to take them up the octave. And you know, I do other things too. I do those shapes too, but I like the way the 3-string shapes sound, especially when you take them up the octave. I just like that. But he had a shape in here that I recently used that I would have never used before just because I never thought to, you know, and it's the A major 7 shape that he showed in there, which is... I don't use it in A though, I use it in a different key, so it sounds like this. But it is the same shape. And, you know, I would have never thought to use that if I hadn't read this magazine. So, yeah, that's basically all I'm getting at. It's just a fun little video to show, like, hey, you know, if you see stuff like this, pick it up. There's worthwhile information in it, you know, and you don't always have to throw old things away. There's good stuff in them still. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed this. It was just for a little fun, and we'll see you next time.